Alright, Shalom. It's the brother Kaya from GMS New Orleans coming back at you with another quick rider talk. Prior to getting started, as I always do, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Shim Yahweh Shai, Shima Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the icons that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video will be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, and to those that cleave to the body. And I want to get in a lesson today about pretty much how the famine of the word will affect the men who teach it once it's finally once the Lord have finally sealed the lips of the prophets and caused them to cleave the tongue to the roots of their mouth where they don't teach anymore. It also affect us because we have centered our lives, like I say, we have hazarded our lives for this truth, man. You know, to teach it, to be instant in season, out of season. You know, to tell our loved ones, brothers, friends, and even we have joy of telling the enemies, you know, their judgment. You see, so we have eaten bread, slept, thought, you know, studied, and did everything within His word. But then, just like that, in an instant, the Lord gonna take it away. All right, now it won't be taken away from our hearts, but you know, brothers have dedicated their lives, you know, to going teaching, man, speaking His word, you know, being consistent with it, you know, and then that's a life change. You know, we be like, hey, we waiting for the you know, the famine of the word, but then everything is done in seasons, right? The Lord may have the prophets shut up for a time, or quiet, or silent, okay, and then, you know, it'll be a season where things happen. All right, and now that when we did teach the word, you know, those who we had, you know, in hopes of getting it, pretty much speaking of our loved ones, or maybe a neighbor, somebody you grew up with in school, a brother, you know, a friend, or whatever, whatnot. But you know, the Lord will have all that taken care of, you know, whether He gonna save that person or not. But just think about it. In that day, when the Lord shut up the mouths of the prophets, man, the word won't go out anymore. You know, that's, you know, that's a thing to look forward to, because this word has been going out. It feel like as long as we've been alive, since we have been made alive or quickened. You see? And some brothers, it been decades. You know, some brothers are decades. Some brothers, you know, the apostles and the elder brothers, you know, 4, 5 decades, you know, and counting. You know, and for it to be gone or taken away in a sudden like that, that's a life change. You know, it's just something to think about. All right, this is Amos 8 and 11. It says, "Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh." By Shim Yahweh Shai, because in Job, all right, we had considered this. Let's just get it, all right, 23 and 12. It says, "Neither have I gone back from the commandments of His lips. I have esteemed the words of His mouth more than my necessary food." So this word have become more important unto us as food, and not to hear it from our comrades on a day-to-day basis, you know, where we can get up and have the luxury and the comfort of being confident in the scriptures, of hearing elder brothers teach. You know, some brothers got favorite brothers or who they like to listen more to than others or whatnot, but just the word, just hearing the word in general, man. All right, you never really miss something until it's what? Until it's totally gone. All right, so it'll be a moment for us as well. You know, it won't just affect these people, it also affect the men of the Lord, man. You know, now, yeah, it'll be time to, you know, lean and trust on our faith and different things like that. But if it just happened today, right now, we'll all be, you know, kind of looking around like, man, you know, we kind of thought it'll happen in a couple weeks, couple months, you know, or whatever. But, you know, we'll be able to adjust to the times. And that's what's important, you know, having adjustability and the truth, man. Adaptability, all right, is important because, again, the things we don't know we kind of confined to, all right, or conform to, you know, sometimes that form will take us in a way of a surprise, all right? The element of surprise will hit us if we ain't able to do it. You know, if you get in a situation, right, you ain't able to teach, an accident, you know, or something, and you at home, you know, kind of looking around, and you like, this all I know, this all I do, all right, is teach the word. You know, I got a personal testimony, like when I had an accident in like 2024, for a couple months, I was just at home, you know, not being no super Israelite, you know, able to, the Lord had kind of set me down. And when you know, when this is your life, you know, you kind of look around like on Saturday, one of the main days when brothers go teach, I'm watching the brothers on live, but I mean, you know, through the spirit of the Lord and the power of the Lord, He have had me front line, man, since day one. So if I'm a soldier for the Lord and I can't actually go and, you know, get busy and teach the word, then that's a, I mean, come on, man. All right. That's definitely a life change, man. You know? So it'll be very interesting when this word, okay, come to pass. All right. Or the Lord, you know, take the word from out of the earth, man. You know, it'll affect us as well. Okay. Now, it'll affect people it'll affect us for the love of it, man. All right, when you love something and it suddenly disappear, all right, you feel a way about that. Okay? Any man can attest to that. You know, Jake, oh man, I'm gonna be good. Yeah, you know, we'll say that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You see, verse Amos 8 and 12. And this was a quick impromptu to camp, right quick. All right, 8 and 12. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. You see? So people is going to be looking for the word of the Lord and not be able to find it, man. Your people, we got loved ones, cousins, you know, family, friends, you know, all that count, man. It says, and in that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. All right, let me get this in a it says in the NLT, beautiful girls and strong young women will grow faint in that day, thirsting for the Lord's word. You see? So these are people that we know that won't hear the word, and you have to lean on faith. But you know, obviously, you have a greater chance of being saved by hearing the word of the Lord. Now, you're going to have those people who the Lord saved because it said it for them to be saved, but the way to the Lord is the hearing of the word, man. You know? So just, you know, a little food for thought, quick impromptu to camp, you know, and brothers, you know, just some quick admonishment, you know, to understand that the thing you're attached to, all right, it can detach from you in a blink of an eye, all through the Lord's will, but just continue to have faith, all right, that the Lord may, you know, continue to have this word stored up in you. So I don't want what does that was edifying, man. Till next time, I'm going to say shalom.